The phone rang at 3:15 on a picture-perfect Tuesday. The kind where the suburbs smell like fresh-cut grass and everyone pretends life is flawless. My 16-year-old daughter Sophie's voice came through in a choked whisper that hit me like ice water. "Dad. Mrs. Hargrove is here." She brought two guys in uniforms. "They're saying I vandalized the memorial and they're trying to drag me to the community office right now." I was out the door before the call even ended. Heart hammering. Because in our little corner of Oakwood Estates, where every blade of grass is measured and every mailbox must be regulation beige, this wasn't just a complaint. This was war. And the woman declaring it was Linda Hargrove, HOA president, self-appointed guardian of community standards and the most passive-aggressive tyrant you'll ever meet in Lululemon. I pulled up to our driveway in under 2 minutes. Sophie stood on the grass. Backpack still slung over one shoulder. Chin up but hands visibly shaking. Two oversized men in black tactical-looking shirts, clearly private security playing dress-up, flanked her like she was public enemy number one. And there, a few feet back, arms crossed, silver bob not daring to move in the breeze, was Linda herself. White pantsuit crisp enough to cut glass. Pearl earrings catching the sun. Face arranged in that perfect blend of concern and condescension she practiced in the mirror every morning. "Mr. Lang," she said. Voice honey-sweet but eyes like flint. "We have witnesses and security footage. Your daughter was caught defacing the memorial to my late son Brandon. This is a clear violation of Article 7. Section 2 of the Covenants, unauthorized alteration of common area property. We're escorting her to the office to file the incident report." Sophie's eyes met mine. "Dad. I swear I was just taking pictures for my photography class." "That's it. I didn't touch anything." One of the goons reached for her arm. "Ma'am. We have authorization from the HOA board." I stepped between them. Phone already out and recording. Screen bright so they could see the red light blinking. "You lay one finger on her and I'll have assault charges filed before you can say liability insurance. This is my property line. You're trespassing. And those uniforms? They don't make you cops. They make you cosplayers with a paycheck." Linda let out a soft, theatrical laugh, the kind that sounds polite but lands like a slap. "Derek. Please. We're all neighbors here. We just want to maintain order. Property values depend on it. You know how important that is after your little misunderstanding with the board last year. There it was. The dig. 2 years ago they'd fined me $2,500 for excessive political expression because I flew a rainbow flag on Pride Month, technically allowed. But they'd called it a distraction. Then the anonymous neighborhood app posts started. "Lang is anti-family values, Lang doesn't respect community norms." I'd stayed quiet. Paid the fine. Kept my head down. Watched. Learned. But now I was done watching. The goon's hand hovered. I looked him dead in the eye. 3 seconds. "Touch her and your boss gets served tomorrow. I still have the screenshots from the last time your firm got sued in Maple Grove for exactly this." He dropped his arm like it burned. Linda's smile didn't falter. But something flickered behind her eyes, calculation. Not fear. "Very well," she said, smoothing her blazer. "We'll handle this through proper channels. Expect a formal notice by end of day. And Sophie. Dear. I hope you understand this isn't personal. It's about protecting everyone's investment." She turned on her heel. The goons following like obedient dogs. Sophie ran inside. I stood there in the sun. Phone still recording. And felt the old familiar knot in my stomach tighten. This wasn't about spray paint. This was about me. Again. By evening the neighborhood Facebook group was on fire. Concerned resident posts, anonymous. Of course, claimed Sophie had been seen with spray cans near the memorial for weeks. Someone shared a blurry photo, clearly photoshopped, of a girl in a hoodie that kinda sorta looked like her. Linda commented publicly, "We take these matters very seriously. Our children's safety and the memory of our lost loved ones must come first." Red heart. I sat at my desk. The same one where I'd once designed marketing materials for the very developer who built this place. And opened Sophie's laptop. She'd handed it over without a word. Eyes red but determined. "I didn't do it. Dad. You believe me. Right?" The photos were beautiful, moody shots of the weathered stone. Ivy creeping like fingers. The bronze plaque half hidden by weeds. In loving memory of Brandon Hargrove, forever in our hearts. I scrolled. Zoomed. And stopped on one frame, a shard of broken glass from an old lantern lying on the ground. In the reflection. Distorted but unmistakable. A man in a gray jacket holding a can of black spray paint. Mid-squirt. Face partially turned. Not Sophie. Not even close. I spent the next 3 hours in Photoshop. Cleaning pixels. Running reverse image searches through public records and old employee directories from the Hargrove family's property management company. The face resolved into Frank Delaney, former groundskeeper for the Hargroves. Let go right after Brandon's sentencing 8 years ago. Last known address, a trailer park 2 counties over. The next morning I drove there before the sun was fully up. Frank opened the door on the third knock. Looking like a man who'd been waiting for this visit his whole life. "Mr. Lang," he said. Voice raspy. "She told me you'd come eventually." Inside. The place smelled of old coffee and regret. He didn't deny anything. Linda had paid him cash, double his old salary, to send a message. Spray the memorial. Plant a few paint chips near Sophie's usual walking route. Make sure a witness saw a teenage girl in the area. All to provoke me into losing my temper on camera. "She said you ruined her life once," Frank muttered. "Said it was time you felt what that's like." I leaned forward. "Frank. What really happened to Brandon?" His hands shook. The story spilled out like poison he'd been holding for 8 years. The night of the crash on County Road 17. Brandon's BMW. Drunk driving. Crossed the center line. Hit a minivan head-on. The mother in the other car died instantly. Brandon was 19. Arrogant. Untouchable until the police showed up. But he wasn't alone. Riding shotgun was Tyler Voss. Son of the state senator who'd just pushed through the tax breaks that saved Linda's husband's real estate empire millions. They switched seats in the rain. Tyler walked away with a slap on the wrist, community service. Brandon took the manslaughter charge. Linda made the deal herself. Kept Frank quiet with monthly envelopes and the threat of deportation for his undocumented wife. Brandon lasted 4 years in prison before a fight over cigarettes ended him. "And you let her pin it on me?" I asked quietly. "I was the one who called 911. I gave the first statement. Then the rumors started, Lang is unreliable. Lang has a grudge against the Hargroves. My freelance contracts dried up for a year." Frank nodded. Tears cutting tracks down his cheeks. "She owns half this town. I had a family to feed. I left with a signed, notarized statement on my phone, recorded with his permission, and drove straight to the Hargrove estate. No appointment. No warning. Linda met me at the door in another flawless outfit. Teacup in hand. Smile practiced to perfection. "Derek. Come to apologize for your daughter's behavior?" I held up my phone. Hit play on Frank's confession. The color left her face so fast I thought she'd faint. "He's lying," she whispered. But her voice cracked. "He's not. And neither is the dashcam footage I kept from that night, the one your lawyers never knew existed because you threatened to bankrupt me if I pushed." Tyler Voss was driving. "Your son took the fall to protect a business deal. You let him rot in prison for a crime he didn't commit. Then spent 8 years punishing everyone who told the truth." The teacup slipped from her fingers and exploded on the marble. She sank into a chair. All the poise gone. Just a hollow woman staring at the wreckage of her own making. "You have no proof that will hold up," she tried. But it sounded like a question. "I have Frank's statement. The dashcam. Sophie's unedited photos with timestamps. And a very motivated reporter at the county paper who's been waiting for something this juicy. Plus every HOA violation complaint you've ever filed, cross-referenced with the board's own bylaws. You're about to lose your seat. Your reputation. And probably face perjury charges when the old case gets reopened." She looked up at me. Eyes glassy. "He was my son. And you chose money over him. That's the real vandalism here." I walked out as the first news van pulled up the drive. By evening the story was everywhere. The HOA board called an emergency meeting and voted her out 7-0. Tyler Voss's father resigned from the state ethics committee the next day. The old case was reopened within a week. Sophie and I sat on the porch steps the following Sunday, watching the sunrise paint the cul-de-sac gold. She leaned her head on my shoulder. "You okay, Dad?" "Better than okay. For once. The rules actually worked in our favor." She laughed softly. "Think they'll change the grass length rule now that Karen's gone?" "Probably not. But at least we can fly whatever flag we want without a fine." We sat in comfortable silence as the neighborhood woke up, lawnmowers humming. Kids on bikes. The faint smell of someone's illegal charcoal grill drifting over the fences. The same place. But lighter somehow. Here's the question I want you to answer honestly in the comments: true or false, the HOA president was justified in seeking revenge because the father ruined her family years ago? Or was she the real villain for covering up the truth and weaponizing neighborhood rules against an innocent girl? Drop your vote and tell me why. Because in suburbs like this, the line between protecting the community and destroying lives is thinner than you think. And sometimes the most dangerous Karen isn't the one yelling about lawn signs, she's the one smiling while she rewrites history.